Lovers Quarrel. It's a long, sustained quarrel.
What's going on, world?
Hey, everybody.
It's your guy, TJ, Mr. New Cool.
And it's your girl, Dani, your seriously sore sloth.
What you sore from?
My hip is a little sore. You know.
From thotting and bopping?
I was thotting and bopping this weekend.
You was twerking out there?
I was shaking a little something, but you know, it was chilly in New Orleans, so some of the joints were a little stiff.
Okay.
But I still got it done. I got the job done.
Okay.
So, how are you, my good sir?
I'm doing well in yourself.
Not bad at all. Still a little hoarse, as you can tell.
I thought you were about to say horny.
No.
Like, oh, you wildin'. You want some different stuff today.
But you're going to be like, I like it.
I mean, listen, who wouldn't like to hear that talk? But I'm just saying, I know how you be acting.
Well,
Horse.
Anywho, welcome to another episode of Lovers Quarrel. As always, if this is your first time listening, welcome. If it's your second time listening, welcome back. And if it's your third or longer time listening, you are family, or as TJ would like to call you, you are a lover now. So just to let's just ready to jump right in.
We can, but before that,
live show. It's coming.
Yeah.
Buy your tickets. They are going quickly. Please. Get you in. That's not a real good sentence coming from a teacher. Forgive me, y'all. Get you some before they sell out. So, November 17th, 3 to 5, Bowery Poetry Club, Lower Manhattan. Do your thing. Join us.
Now we can go on the show.
Go on the show. So, as always, it's time for our elevator talk. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
Are you going up or down?
I'm going up.
All right. I'm going down.
Oh, such a buzzkill.
I know. I've been down all... I mean, it's not really a down like a
fucking
negative.
Fucking ruining the mood, TJ.
It's not really a down or a negative, but it's just...
The fuck, dude?
Something that I witnessed, so it was kind of like down moment.
Oh, okay. All right. Going down.
So, while Dani was out thotting and bopping in New Orleans...
being a great matron of honor.
I mean, listen, if you got a thought and bop to be a great matron honor, I don't know. I don't want that job. But that's besides the point. It's not about you.
Mm-hmm.
I took Tatum to a casting call.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a madhouse. Mad fucking house. Everybody with their kids just trying to get their kids seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is my first time doing it. I didn't think it was going to be this crazy. But, you know, lines is long. We moving up. We get up there. And it's like wall to wall of just people and kids. And people bringing their fucking strollers. And so, you know, me and my mother, we get off the elevator. And people are like, you know, some people are screaming like, just take the elevator down one flight, come back up. So that way it'll be more room. But nobody wanted to do that because... everybody felt like they would be missing something.
They was going to lose their place in line or something.
So, the down comes, there was a white woman.
Was there?
And
isn't it always a white woman?
Yeah. Yeah. So she had her child. Her child was in a stroller.
Was her child mixed race?
I don't know. I didn't even care to see the child. And because it was so hectic and everybody's trying to get seen and everyone is doing, you know, moving around, some people were bumping up against the stroller.
Yeah.
And then she proceeds to say, she proceeds to complain that people are squeezing in and how dare they hit her child and what kind of parents would hit a child. And it's like, your child's in a stroller. So they're not hitting your child.
They're bumping the stroller.
They're bumping a stroller.
Because it's packed with people.
But the down part was just seeing a white woman make themselves a victim.
The audacity of Caucasity.
Yes, there you go. So it made me realize how dramatic and dangerous they are. And it's like everyone was there trying to get their kids seen to be able to be the next star or whatever, you know. But you know that with crowds, especially like this type of, I don't know. So for me, there's a difference between someone doing it maliciously and someone doing it because there's literally no space.
Yeah.
And granted, you have this big ass stroller. So had you not had your stroller, then there'd have been more room. But it just reminded me that, again, Emmett Till was murdered off of the victimization. Did I do that right?
You pronounced it correctly.
No,
Yes.
I knew I pronounced it correctly. I'm saying, did I?
Context.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Proud of you.
And it's down because it's a scary thing, and it makes you realize, like, oh shit, like
They'll capitalize on
this
it
is
any
real.
moment.
Yeah, like I'm not arguing with a white woman. I'm not doing nothing with a white woman ever. Because just to see that, like, I would teach my kids, be careful.
It's real out there, and then.
But it's real because it's real because it's like
It's the privilege.
you could, yeah, exactly. All you got to do is throw these white tears out, and people flock, and people are so afraid, and people are so like, we got to protect, and it's like
Someone ends up dead.
this situation, yeah, it wasn't even that serious. People who were bumping into each other, they were apologizing, like.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I feel like anytime you enter or insert yourself in a space or a setting where it's like really crowded, more times than not, I feel like most people are kind of like, when they bump into each other, they apologize. They're like, oh, excuse me, my bad. And it's like, you don't take it seriously because it's limited space. So people are going to bump into each other. When I go to New Orleans, when I go to Essence Fest or whatever, you're at any real bar or club that's like packed, you like might bump into each other. You say, excuse me, you apologize, you keep it pushing. And, and that's to be like, that should be like kind of like the standard expectation, not like, especially when nobody's like maliciously trying to do something. And I get being protective of your child because, if you have a small child with you, but at the same time, if they're safe in a stroller, then let it go.
Yeah, it wasn't like somebody like.
It's not like somebody pushed your kid to the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd have been different. It'd been different if she had the baby in her arm and somebody like elbowed the baby.
Yeah.
Then yeah, it's like I can understand being upset, but again, that this is a casting call and it might be hectic. So you kind of run that risk, but yeah, so be careful out there.
Well, thank you for that. And that wasn't that down. That was more like.
Well, I said it's down because it's like it's a realization that
it wasn't.
This is something that you have to like combat. So it's like it just made me realize like, oh shit,
they're dangerous.
Yeah, and again, this is what Emmett Till had to deal with.
Lost his life over.
Yeah,
to an extent.
She victimized
herself.
So,
the audacity of caucasity.
Is that gonna be the
episode
name of the episode?
That might as well be, because it's just right there waiting for us to pick it. All right, so I'm going up. So let's go ahead and going up. And my elevator talk for this week is that wrapping up my excitement for the Bachelorette weekend. The Bachelorette weekend has now concluded, and it was a complete success. You had 10 women from all different parts of the country, and careers and everything like that descend on New Orleans to celebrate my girl Mercedes before she got married.
Yeah, say.
Oh my God. So, and most importantly is that Sadie's had like a really, really good time. Like I checked in with her like here and there to make sure she was enjoying herself, but like everybody got along. We were all there just like the right amount of time where like everybody was flowing and vibing with each other. And we did a little bit of everything. We got there, so our flight got delayed. We got there like super late, but because it's New Orleans and it's Bourbon Street and it's Halloween, everybody was still down to go out. So we went out at like 2-3 in the morning, and then we didn't get back in until like 6-something in the morning that first night.
Do tell.
Yes. So I was FaceTiming my sister while she was on her way to work, and I'm just getting into the hotel. Then we checked into this like really dope Airbnb, or Vrbo. That's the other app, VRBO. But same concept. And it was a really dope spot. it was like hood adjacent, but we were safe. And
what's hood adjacent?
Hood adjacent is like we were like just inside of what's I guess called Central City, which like could be considered like starting of like the rough parts of New Orleans. Technically, it's like on the other side of the Superdome. But I'll put it like this: we were like 5 minutes from the Superdome driving, but we were still staying on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. And you know, if you stay on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, chances are you are in somebody's hood.
You might be right.
So,
but you don't have to say that out like that. But go ahead.
I mean, but like Jay-Z would say, I'm good on any MLK Boulevard. So.
Is that what he said?
He did.
Did he say it like that?
Not exactly.
Okay.
But he did say it.
Okay. You paraphrasing it. I got
paraphrasing. So, it was just really, really great. It was like, I love New Orleans. It was cold as balls though. Like, I was not expecting it to be that cold. Like, obviously not summertime, Essence Fest, warm and hot, but it was like what it would have been up here, which is like in the 40s and stuff like that at night. So that wasn't my ideal situation, but everything else from the trolley ride to the twerk shop class to the dinner, everything went like really, really well. And ultimately what's most important is that Mercedes,
Excuse me.
Oh, bless you. That Mercedes had an amazing time, and that was my, me and the maid of honor, us with our matron and maid of honor duties, helped get it together, and all the other women helped make it come to fruition, and I'm just happy she had a great time, and I had a great time.
That's awesome. I'm glad you had a great time.
Thank you. Even though I was statting and bopping, as you would like to say.
Yeah, listen.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do in New Orleans, was stat and bop.
Yeah, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're a married woman.
I didn't say I was like out here like sleeping with other people, but I can. Thotting and bopping means I could dress sexy and dance around, shake my ass.
Yeah, but no. Thotting and bopping definitely doesn't mean that.
Whatever.
Thotting and bopping means out here.
And that's how you describe your wife.
I mean,
what kind of husband are you?
Honest.
Huh?
He's some honest.
At least you're honest.
Yeah.
I can't stand your ass. I'm leaving my elevator at this point. And now we are going to move on to our relationship tip of the week. Am I going first or are you, my good sir?
You can go first.
Okay, I will. So my relationship tip of the week is stop trying to win.
You tell. I don't know what that means.
So lately, to full transparency with our lovely listeners, is me and TJ have been on a good kick of like getting along, like fucking with each other, quality time, just in general, like enjoying each other's company. And part of why I think that is the case is...
You've been letting me win?
No, not letting you win.
Just asking.
But I've made the conscious decision to like, sometimes like I'm stop trying to win. So like when I was like, when we were coming back from New Orleans, right? And TJ FaceTimed me, but I missed the call, and then I texted him, and I felt like he was kind of being short with me because he was annoyed because I missed his FaceTime call when he was trying to call with Tatum. And like in the past, I would have like continued to like harp on it, like, but you said this and you interpreted this and I interpreted it this way, and you were being short, you were being rude, you were and like it would have been a thing of like I was trying to like get the last word in. But actually twice in like maybe like the last week, we've had these like text encounters where like we weren't seeing eye to eye, we were communicating through text. But in both situations, I made the conscious effort to be like, I'm telling you how I feel, I'm saying what I have to say, and then I'm letting it go and I'm moving on. And so that for me was like, I'm not going to try and win simply by having the last word or by like strong-arming you into like conceding, which rarely ever happens because TJ doesn't believe in concessions most times. And then by doing that though, I feel like in both instances where I got frustrated, I got upset, or I was upset because I felt like you came at me sideways unnecessarily or something like that. I said my piece, I spoke my piece, and then I was like, I'm moving on. And then in turn, when ended up coming back like full circle, it was like, you maybe reflected on what you said or did, and then you like apologized for being short with me. And then that's, I was like, I forgive you, and then we moved on. So it's like, we've been able to like truncate these like arguments that TJ and I have been having, because, not solely because of that, but I feel like I've been making a conscious effort to like not try to like argue simply to win, but only if it's like absolutely necessary. And I felt like I should share that nugget with our listeners. So, there's a time where you want to win and you want to argue and you want to like be the last man or woman standing, and that's perfectly fine. There's a time and place for that. But also there's a time and place where you're just going to speak your piece, call out what you need to call out, and then be like, and now I'm letting it go and I'm moving on. Because it was more about getting it out and letting it, like, making sure that your like opinion was heard and your truth was heard. But then it's not about like whether or not that person takes your truth and accepts it, apologizes, or rejects it. It's just about, I said my piece and then I'm going. So stop trying to win. Sometimes you just got to say it and then move on.
And that was a great tip.
Thank you. I'm good at my job.
You are. I'm never going to be a negative Nancy.
Thank you.
No what?
I said thank you.
Oh, okay. Your voice is mad hoarse. I'm just like realizing it right now.
You're not gonna be a shady lady today.
You love throwing it out there. So my tip is gonna be, don't forget to communicate, in the sense of, when you first start dating someone, you communicate all the time. I feel like you find things interesting, you're learning about each other. And then once you get to a certain point in the relationship, it's kind of like you take each other for granted. And it's just like, I don't got to talk to her, or I don't got to talk to him. And, I feel like that can be the downfall to a relationship. Remember to continue the communication, continue getting to know each other, continue laughing together, and continue to get to know each other. Yeah. Because even though you've been together we've been together for 15 years, and I feel like I'm learning newer shit about you now.
Like what?
Like you like the thought and bop.
Oh my God.
No,
I learned that you like exclusives. You don't like me to send you the same pictures that I put on the gram.
Yeah, that's very disrespectful.
I sent them to you first, though.
It's still disrespectful.
You got the preview.
Nope. I'm pretty sure any of the guys who listen to this is going to be like, she did what?
Well, then I learned, and I sent you some things that.
Yeah, well, I had to teach you some things.
Not teach me. See, you always you do too much. Like Tatum would say, you do too much. You do too much.
I had to teach you some things.
Whatever. So does that mean that any pictures that I send you for the exclusivity, I can never post on the gram?
Maybe like next year afterwards.
Next year? Oh my gosh. Okay.
You got to have stuff that's exclusive to your partner.
I agree. I'll give you that.
That not everyone's going to see. So if you're sending me the same pictures you're going to post online, then you don't have to send it to me. I can just go online.
Okay. Well, like I said, I learned something, so I'm looking out for my husband, and
with that, I yield. Okay. And I win.
You don't win.
Oh, I definitely win.
You don't.
Double time.
No. How you double time win?
Because you agree with me. You agree that I taught you something. So because I'm still teaching, I win.
You're barely.
I've been teaching you for 15 years.
And is that overwhelming you now?
No. I love being a teacher.
You're not, though. And what exactly have I taught you? Besides how to spell?
That was a good one. But you didn't teach me how to spell.
You're right. I taught you grammar.
Nah, you have the grammar, because
I let you know when it'll be like, that's not it, baby.
Well, I go to you because that's what you do.
I'm an expert.
Yeah, you're something like an expert.
I guess that's a good segue to our word of the week. All things grammar and spelling.
Sure.
Sure.
I was about to fire you up.
And what did you think I was gonna say?
No, I was going to continue with this teaching you, but go ahead. We can go.
I'm sorry. I'm ready.
Nope.
You gonna fire my ass up some more?
Nope, I won't. Not at all.
You just be talking yourself out of the box.
Out of control. See, I'm still learning about you. New things.
You know,
who are you?
I'm just being a little more unfiltered.
Okay.
Sometimes you act like sometimes you've been like you don't like it. But I think you can appreciate.
I don't like what?
Like unfiltered things that I say.
Sure.
Because then you'll be like, you're weird.
I mean, because sometimes you'll do something unfiltered at a time that should have been filtered, or anyway. I'm learning to just accept you for who you are. 15
years in. Thank you.
Exactly.
Only took that long. I've been accepting you for who you were, though.
Cheers. Never mind. Anyway. The word of the week is inchoate. Inchoate means just beginning to form. You can have an inchoate idea, like the earliest flickers of images for your masterpiece, or an inchoate feeling, like your inchoate sense of annoyance towards your sister's new talking parrot. Or your inchoate sense of annoyance towards your wife's new hairstyle.
Oh, you don't like my hair?
Nah, I just wanted to throw you in there. Now, your hair's fire.
Oh, my God.
Now, I mean, when you got those two braids in, looking like Darty B, feel me?
Oh, my God. Shut up. Inchoate. That's, because it's like, is there an H in there? Because it's like silent. Is it like inchoate?
My favorite part of the show is
this right here.
Can you stump Dani?
You might stump me today.
Doom, doom, doom. You're not being confident. I didn't teach you to be a giver up.
A giver upper? Okay. That's not a word, but all right.
I mean,
inchoate.
Mm-hmm.
And it means to be at the beginning stages of like feeling something.
Means just beginning to form.
Just
begun, and so not fully formed or developed.
Say the first sentence again, like in a sentence.
Let me see. You can have an inchoate idea, like the earliest flickers of images for your masterpiece. Wrong. No, I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
Oh. I'm just going to spell it like it sounds, because I don't know. Inchoate.
Got it wrong.
Damn.
Inchoate.
I knew. I said there was probably an H in there.
Should have been confident.
I couldn't tell.
Should have been confident.
Okay. Well, at least I know the rules of spelling and grammar that, it could have been in there.
Ooh.
So I'll make a silver lining out of that.
As you should.
But with that being said, we're going to take a quick little break and hear a word from our sponsor. And then we're going to come back with our quarrel.
Hey friend, it's time for you to ditch those workout gloves and get the grip and wrist support you deserve. What do you suggest? You need to get the Gainz Load and Lock grips by Gainz Sports Gear. They are more durable than gloves, have a non-slip grip pad that provides grip support and added wrist support unlike your traditional workout gloves, and will protect your hands from calluses. Do they come in different colors? Not only do they come in different colors, but they are available for men and women. Do yourself a favor, go to GainSportsGear.com. And remember, a better grip equals a better lift. Embrace the process.
And you too can embrace the process by using our code LOVERS10. That's LOVERS 10 at Gainz, GAINZ sportsgear.com. Now, back to the show.
All right, and we are back.
Yes, we are back again. Live show, November 17th. It's in 2 weeks.
Yes.
From 3 to 5.
Come.
At the Bowery Poetry Club. You can take the B, D, or F train there. So we hope to see you there. We have Oprah Rose hosting. We got Reek
The original black man.
The original black man. The one-man bandstand.
Yes.
He's going to do his piece, which I think people are really going to enjoy. And we're finalizing a few more things. We may have a special guest performance.
We might have a couple things in work, but you won't know about it if you're not there.
Oh, I like how you just did that.
Thank you.
I like that.
So you need to go to the website and get your tickets. LQLive.Eventbrite.
Come on, you cutting me off now, bro.
I was trying to do it in unison.
Okay, my fault.
Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. LQLive.Eventbrite.
This is so stupid. But anyway, yes.
.com.
Get your tickets, and we can't wait to see y'all there and you know, have a great time and, you know,
turn up.
Thank God that we're able to make this and have an opportunity to do this. But what you also should do is on the 16th
is go
to my guy Reek's event, Jack in the Box.
Uh-oh.
You know, so all you can drink Jack Daniels for all my dark liquor fans.
I am nauseous thinking about it, but I am here.
Are you really?
You know, me and Jack didn't have the best history, but I'm still down for the cause, man.
Listen, go get your tickets. Jack in the Box, and box is spelled BOCKS. It's kind of like somebody from Boston. jackinthebox.splashthat.com. November 16th. Dani and I will be there.
Yes.
So come say hello and come kick it with our guy Reek and, you know, and Lovers Quarrel.
Alrighty. And with that being said, we are ready for our quarrel. Are you ready?
Sure.
So this quarrel is going to be, me and TJ are going to put on our man and woman hat and our mother, father, like parent hats. I think those are the hats we have to wear for this conversation. So it not occurred to me. It recently came across my timeline that apparently famous rapper T.I. Still accompanies his teenage daughter, to her gynecologist appointments, which I guess she may not have been going that long, depending on her medical history, to ensure that she is still a virgin, to have her hymen checked, or request that the doctor check her hymen, or the doctor ask that the doctor tell him if her hymen is still intact, which reaffirms to him that she is still not having sexual intercourse. Now, that is problematic on a lot of levels, I feel like. Number one, having your hymen be intact does not denote whether or not you've had sex. That's number one. So that's a myth, okay? Number two is I don't feel like that is the place of particularly a father to be so invasive. Like, I'm not saying that as a parent you wouldn't want to know if your child's being sexually active or whatever, but it's not like, to me, it's not like he wants to know if she's sexually active so that way I can make sure that she's prepared, that we've had the necessary conversations, that she's not out here being unsafe. It's like, I just want to make sure that she's staying a virgin. And as a woman and as a mother, I feel like that's very invasive of a father or a parent in general. I'm not even going to stigmatize and just make it a man-woman thing, but I just feel like it's very invasive of a parent to have this very specific line of questioning and feeling like you have to accompany your daughter to the gynecologist appointment. Like, her mother can go with her. Yeah, her mother can go with her, and her vagina, her sexual experiences are not 100%. Don't get I feel like it's just something that unless if you have that relationship with your father, let me say that's one thing. If you are not do not have that relationship with one of your parents, and that should not be the parent that should be pressing you about that. That's a lot of pressure. You got to stay a virgin. I want to make sure, I'm going to talk to your doctor and make sure your hymen is checked. I don't even know how true this is, because honestly, doctor, once you reach a certain age,
she had to sign off.
So she signed off.
That's in his story. That's how it was.
So she probably was pressured to do so.
In the story, it was the doctor was saying, he couldn't give it, and
yeah,
he
exactly,
said in front of her, and, he 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 said in T.I. got her to say okay.
Waive her rights.
Yeah.
That's another problem.
The doctor was saying like the hymen can be broken if they're like bike riding or just different stuff. And T.I. said like she don't do any of that stuff. So
the only way her hymen would be broken is if she fucking.
Pretty much that's what I guess that's what he was getting at. I don't. So let's talk about this because I'm a guy. I don't have an hymen.
And you are the father of a daughter.
I am. So at this gynecologist, they check to see if your hymen's intact. They can tell.
No, that's not typically what's done during a gynecological exam.
Okay.
They check your...
They use that thing.
A speculum.
Yeah.
They will, you put your feet in the stirrups and they examine of course they can see everything from the outside, but then they do the speculum and then they'll take a swab and do a pap smear.
Mm-hmm. You're teaching. You're teaching me.
Oh.
I don't want
they
to
will sometimes
that my male listeners don't know this. But go ahead.
Sometimes they will like insert. Maybe they can tell. I guess I don't think that's what they're looking for, but sometimes they'll have to insert like 2 fingers to like check, like to feel, to make sure everything is like in place and feels okay. But I don't.
Should they be putting 2 fingers in you?
It's happened.
Since we've been together.
We've been together forever. You're part of the reason why I started going to the gynecologist.
Oh, whoa. So you mean to tell me they be putting 2 fingers?
I have had that during an exam, yes.
Oh, you ain't never tell me that.
Because it's routine.
We're not going back.
Yeah, whatever.
It's over for that.
So
I'm playing.
They check. They do a pap smear.
Uh-huh.
They push on your your pelvic area to make sure everything feels. That's usually I think when they put the 2 fingers in, they push in your pelvic area to make sure everything feels good. They'll ask you. They'll push on it from the outside. They'll ask you if anything hurts when they touch like your pelvic area, your stomach, or anything like that. And then I've had been given like a breast exam during that, so they'll like feel for any lumps or anything like that.
So they just feeling all over your body.
All in my like reproductive organs. Yeah.
I want to be so jokey right now, but I'm not. I'm gonna stop because it's a serious moment.
So to my knowledge, they are not actively looking to see if your hymen is intact. I guess they could, yeah, like they're down there or they can feel or whatever, but it's not like I don't gather that it's protocol to be like, oh, is this person fucking or not? Like that's not the gynecologist's job. It's their job to make sure that your reproductive organs are healthy, both inside and out, and that's it.
So I figured we can talk about it just because it's a hot topic. And because Dani said that I wouldn't. You said something. What did you say earlier?
I said you couldn't.
She said I couldn't.
You could not.
Which made me want to talk with her about the situation because I would not, but don't tell me that I could not. Don't tell me I can't do anything.
I understand, like, it's just, that's being obstinate and, like, just digging your, like, heels in because you just want to be defiant.
No, I'm not being defiant.
I'm saying that, like...
What if my daughter wanted me there?
If Tatum turns around and says, I want you, or any daughter we have...
So then you can't say I can't.
No, then I wouldn't say you can't, but I'm saying is that I'm going to err on the side of caution and just knowing who I am as a mother and knowing who you are as a person, I don't think Tatum would want you to accompany her to the gynecologist.
I'm her best friend.
You are her best friend, but you're also her
in the world.
Father. You're a father.
We're not going to have any secrets.
Nobody's going to have any secrets, but she may not want her daddy with her at the gynecologist.
I mean,
now,
I don't
this is coming from somebody who my father took me to my first GYN exam.
I mean, he was a great man.
Yes.
That's my guy.
Gregory was a real one.
Yeah.
But he also did not ask the doctor for my information on my virginity,
I think
or he was not able to stand in the room with me.
There's like privacy issues there. There's like
major privacy issues,
non-trust issues. And just because she's not sexually active, like just because she's a virgin there doesn't mean she's a virgin anywhere else. Like,
and you got more than one hole.
Doesn't mean that you're forcing her to kind of do other things, or
like how many there be girls there's a whole
it's a lot of people.
There's a whole theme in porn where it's like only in the ass because I don't want anybody to think I'm not a virgin. Like
What kind of porn do you be watching?
I've seen it on your Bang Bros.
No.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
No.
There was a Bang Bros episode where the girl only did anal because she was like, the storyline was, I'm a Catholic and I don't want to lose my virginity because it's against the Bible. And they did her in the butt.
I don't believe that. I don't remember that. There was a porn star, though, who only did anal. They did her in the butt. No. I promise you, they were in that. What was the episode name, Dani? I don't know. It was the white van. it was the white van. The bullshit fucking setup of like, oh, here we just happened upon a pretty, racially ambiguous girl, and she's gonna talk about. She's got on like a plaid skirt, and they did her in the butt. They did her in the butt. They did her in the butt. It is a privacy thing, though. You're not going to violate. You should not be violating your daughter's privacy. Now, I understand as a parent, like your child does not, even up until a certain age, your child really doesn't need any privacy because there's nothing really that they should be hiding. But there also needs to be an understanding and expectation that everybody, that once you do have a right to privacy, that we need to model to our kids how someone is supposed to respect that privacy and those boundaries, because it's not good enough to be like, oh, well, I'm her parent and I need to know her business or his business forever and ever. Amen. It's just like, I want to know because I want to make sure my child is being safe. But if I'm going to bully my way into this information, then I'm either going to have a child who's going to never feel like they can come talk to me about the real deal because they feel like they're scared and they're going to just do whatever it is that I say, and it's going to be unproductive. Or you're going to have someone who's going to start sneaking around and doing all types of fuck shit because they feel like they can't find a modicum of privacy that's age appropriate, right? And like teenagers have sex, like it's as long. I don't think it's ideal though. I don't think anybody wants their teenager having sex. Nobody wants a teenager having sex, but it's a fact. We were teenagers when we started having sex. We were. And so, like, it is what it is. Like, teenagers have sex. But at the same time, there was and even though I didn't have, like, the most ideal situation as far as, like, my parents finding out that I was sexually active, at the same time, I also... You were the aggressor, too. Oh, my God. Hey, listen, I don't want your mother listening to this, and then she'd be like, you corrupted my baby, because she thinks that you became who you are because you dated me, which I'll take that compliment, because I definitely... evolved you. But Dani was the aggressor every time. And so the point I'm trying to make though is that can you agree with that? I did initiate the progression of our sexual life. Yes, okay, thank you. When we first started dating. Thank you. I need to put on a wax. That's fine. I mean? Well, I don't know. We can't call it wax. But anyway, yeah. Go ahead. So I just think that like even like I was still equipped with like the information to know how to be safe, because what I will also say is that even though I was the initiator of our different, like the different sexual things that you and I did as we progressed in our early relationship, I also was like very adamant about being safe, like birth control, condoms, like I'm not playing around, I'm not trying to get pregnant, getting tested when I went to the gynecologist, all that stuff, because I'm like, I'm not trying to be out here catching cooties. And but at the same time, like, no, I didn't feel like I could, like, talk to my mom or my dad about, like, yeah, I'm having sex. Although I did, like, I don't know if I ever told this story on the show. You think I ever told this story? About you getting on birth control? Yeah. You might have, but, I mean. Okay, so. We're 80-something episodes in, you know. So my journey to, like, safety, sexual safety, I knew that, like, me and TJ were getting serious. I knew that, like, basically I wanted to have sex. And, but I did not want to have sex without being on some type of birth control. And while condoms was cool, but condoms break. And I was a very aware and safe, but still very like naive. Hey, Shayla, go to like the 40-year-old minute mark. Yeah. So like 17-year-old Dani. And basically like I never forget. I was I was in the kitchen in our house in Queens. My mom was cleaning like out the microwave or something. And I was like, Ma, I think I need to go to the gynecologist. So she was like, she looked at me like side eye. She was like, for what? And I was like, well, I'm getting older. And I'm like, plus I really feel like, I might be ready to like take it to the next level and everything like that with like TJ.
And she just closed the microwave door, and she was like, it is not all it's cracked up to be, and he is a junior. And that was her entire, like, response to me saying I wanted to get on birth control. Then I asked my sister, I was like, sis, I really want to, like, I think I'm ready to have sex. I want to get on birth control. But she's in Baltimore. I'm in New York. And she's like, just wait. Like, it's fine. She really wasn't trying to, like, hear me. Now, my mentor, shout out to Fee, she was willing to take me to get birth control. She was like, look, I can take you to Planned Parenthood or whatever, but twofold, the smart side of my brain was like, I don't want her to take me, and then God forbid my parents find out and then they won't let me see her again, because she was a great mentor.
Your mother definitely would have.
She would have been like, you'll never see her fucking again.
Your father would have probably understood.
Yeah, but then on the other side, I was like, Planned Parenthood, I ain't going there. That's where like pregnant bitches go. And I was like, that was just dumb and ignorant. Yeah. But bougie, yeah.
That's happened. You're from Queens and grew up in. Never mind. Go ahead.
Shut up. So, I ultimately, I went into my parents' bedroom. My dad was like laying on the bed watching TV. And I sat down next to him. And I was like, and he could kind of tell something was wrong.
You didn't shoot the shit first?
Maybe a little bit. But I was like, I did one of these like, and he was like,
what's wrong?
He was like, he kind of like looked at me. He like looked over to the left and he was like, what's going on? And basically I told him that like I was feeling like I was ready to have sex, and I asked several people about taking me to the doctor so I can get on birth control so I could be safe, and everybody was telling me no and telling me to wait. And my dad was like, he kind of laid there for a minute real quiet like he does when he's thinking, and he was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, sorry for what? And I mean, like, I was like super scared and embarrassed and nervous because I'm talking to my dad about like fucking and getting on birth control. And he basically, I was like, and I thought he was going to be like, I'm sorry, like, I'm sorry, I can't. Mm-hmm. But then he said that I'm sorry because he was like, I'm sorry that you had to go through all of these like no's and doors in your face to the point where you felt like you had no other like recourse but then to come to me. And he was like, you obviously feel so, you obviously are serious about what you're saying, because if you weren't, then you wouldn't have come to me. Like, you wouldn't have felt like you had to come to your dad. I know how, basically he was like, he understood like how difficult that must have been. And so with that being said, he did take me to my first gynecologist appointment, but he waited in the motherfucking waiting room.
Shout out to the legend. And, money.
Yeah. This week, actually, side note, this week makes 2 years since his passing. So, I know
2 years
already. But, it's kind of cool. I think it's funny how we like came upon this story, because that's how like dope my dad was. Is like he said it. He was like, in no way do I condone this. He was like, but you must be serious if you're coming to me.
He was a great father.
He was.
I hate to use the past tense,
but I mean he's not with us.
He is a great father.
Yeah.
So.
But it's okay. So that's our story.
Especially to girls.
Yeah.
So.
But saying that all to say, he did not come with me into the room. He did not inquire with the gynecologist, like, is she already having sex? What's her hymen doing? Because that wasn't his business. It was his business to make sure that his daughter, like, my father made it clear to me that, without ever necessarily explicitly saying it, that I could come to him with anything, even though he wasn't my first choice.
I mean, that's how it should be, though.
It should be, but he never impressed upon me like, if you have sex, I'm gonna kill you. You better stay a virgin until you're 25.
No, I think all that stuff is falsehoods and bad ways of thinking.
Yeah, and it's sexist because it's not ever applied to boys.
Yeah, no, I don't think he told his sons that they better still
probably
be virgins.
dapped them up.
So I mean, I can see where the statement can be problematic. I also think that you got to raise your children the best way you can, and you got to instill in them their self-worth, and your child would make they'll make the decision that's gonna be best for them, but you shouldn't be as strict, I guess. I would love to hear his philosophy on what he tells all his kids. Now, if he did this for all his kids, if he went to all his if he went to all the doctor visits for all the kids, when the sons was there, he'll ask, you know, are they having sex and making them do STDs testing to see and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. Then I would say, okay, he's doing it fairly across the board. But it does seem like he's setting this weird standard for his girls that, you know, they can't and they shouldn't
have sex
because they're
girls, because they're women. Yes.
So,
and that's not fair because it takes two to fuck. So, and we know T.I.
And we know
T.I. be fucking and Austin, not just Tiny. So,
come on, stop being a shady lady.
Listen.
Allegedly.
Okay.
And we all know that most of the time women are the aggressors, so.
That's also not true.
I'm just speaking from my experience.
That's your only experience. So.
You were extremely aggressive.
I was not extremely aggressive.
When I first met you, I was still playing with my action figures. I was a regular kid.
Oh, and then I just kind of grew you up.
Listen, you started thotting and bopping.
Oh my God. That's why my hip is popping right now. But, yeah, ultimately,
so yeah,
parents, we have a right to know the ins and outs of what's going on in our children's lives. But then there comes a point in time where, as difficult as it may be, and it probably will be difficult for me too, where there's a shift that occurs, and as your children start to become young adults, there's a modicum of privacy.
But you should teach them certain things. No, I don't want my daughter having sex at a young age, but if it happens, I want to be there for her. I don't want her to feel like she can't come to me. If she does something and whatever happens, that's something that I would want her to feel comfortable enough to say, Dad, this happened, and not feel like she can't come to me. Or, you know, I feel like sometimes kids are pressured to doing things, or they do stuff, but they keep it a secret because of the fear of what can happen. And it shouldn't be no fear. I've always said that I would want my children, male, female, to feel like they can come to me regardless, no matter what situation. Listen, you get suspended from school, you come to Pop. We can still have this conversation. Pop may be angry, but I'm not gonna like beat the shit out of you or whatever.
Or continuously.
That's one thing I would say that
shame
that my father did very well. My father was not a believer in beatings. Now my
your
mother,
she whoop ass.
She's a slave master.
She's gonna love hearing that.
She's a slave master. She probably owned 4 plantations in her life.
Past life.
Because she would beat for anything. Now Ice, that's when Ice was like the clutches. Like, oh shit, I'm about to get in trouble. Hey, I gotta call Ice. Listen.
Like, what will you say?
I would tell him the situation. I'd be like, you know, I really couldn't go to my mother.
How many times were you suspended from school?
I was suspended from school twice that I can remember. That was like in middle school.
I've never been suspended.
Well, you also graduated in 4 years. I mean, the fuck?
Oh, whatever.
We can't all be as great as you.
No, it's not that big of a deal. It means nothing.
I was suspended. Again, I was into like wrestling. I'm still into wrestling.
Toys.
No, but I'm saying wrestling because, you know, some people be like, whatever. Anyway, it's my guilty pleasure. But this kid, Donald, we used to like Ric Flair chop each other. So he got me and he booked it. So I was like, once I seen him, I'm going to get him. And he was in a cafeteria and I must have really went 100.
I wish you could see him like looking off.
He was one of those and then he wanted to fight and then we got suspended for that. And then you should have seen Ice in there. They were trying to give me like these charges that would have went in my record. And Ice was like a fucking lawyer. Like, this says this, and this. So you mean to tell me, like, he was breaking this shit down. So I may have had like 5 charges that was going to go on my case. I left with 1. It's like, okay, all right, Johnny. I see you, Johnny.
If the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
I think the other time I threw a pencil at somebody and they suspended me. Some shit like that. Let me tell you, see, again, back to my pops. Dude, I got suspended on like a Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm like, oh shit, I haven't told nobody.
So they were like, where the fuck you going?
No, I haven't told my parents that I got suspended.
So they like, why you not getting up for school?
Pretty much. My mother was gone already.
Fucking idiot.
So Ice was still there, and I was like,
so
I'm like, and I'm fully dressed. I'm fully dressed.
You was prepared to pretend like he was going to school?
Fuck yes. And then I told him what happened, and he was like, all right, don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later. And I got undressed and started playing video games.
Oh my goodness.
But Ice was my savior. Ice made it so much easier. So, you know, using that as a reference that, you know, to be a good parent doesn't mean that you have to be a helicopter parent. Doesn't mean that you have to...
Agreed.
You know
every single iota of a detail about your child.
You should know important stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like either parent should know a lot of stuff so that way they can navigate to make sure that their children are good.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be to the point that your child can't make mistakes or can't decide for themselves. Like there's no reason why, like if your daughter tells you I'm a virgin, it shouldn't have to be like, nah.
Prove it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I didn't like that aspect of it. But the quarrel is, you said I can't. And I didn't like that.
I'm saying that...
I'd rather you say you shouldn't.
I'm saying you shouldn't.
But
what I'm saying
but
is
to
that,
say I can't, like...
What I'm saying is that...
I can do whatever I want.
Okay.
And you can do whatever you
want. Short
want.
of Tatum or any daughter we might have after preferring you there or asking you to be there... all I'm saying is if the scenario came that it has something to do with our daughter's reproductive health and she did not want you there and you wanted to be there, then,
I would never.
Then it would be that it would be
different.
you can't come if you want to and she says no and she's 16.
Yeah, that's a little bit different.
Then it
if you're using it in that reference,
you
then
cannot
yes,
go.
can't.
Now here's my question: even though you feel like, even though you have the precedent that you want to set with your child Tatum and any children that would come after, that they can talk to you about anything or whatever. My only question for you, like, let's talk about Tatum since we know her sex and we know her. What would you be hurt if she did not want to come to you with like everything, like her, like if Tatum's 18 and she has sex for the first time and she's like, I love my dad. I know I could something with everything, but I'm not comfortable telling my dad I just had sex for the first time. And like she tells me, but like
I think it depends on where I'm at in my life.
Okay, so like you don't know if your feelings would be hurt or not. I
don't know. I mean, but I can understand probably not wanting to tell your parent. But then again, not necessarily because my mother knew. Like my mother was the one who taught me about sex. My father, that wasn't a me and Ice thing. That was a me and my mother thing. Like
yeah,
because she didn't want me to be a dud stud, as she likes to call it.
Oh my god!
But so my mother told a lot of like the men in our family about sex. She was gung-ho, serious about it.
Dr. Ruthin it up.
Yeah, so I never felt uncomfortable having that conversation with my mother. So that's what I'm saying. It just depends. But right now, I mean, I might be hurt, to be honest with you. Like, if we have a relationship that there's no secrets, and then you keep a secret, then it's kind of like, damn, we really don't have no secrets. I mean, we yeah.
Well, you do have one, but
yeah,
but you'd understand.
I'm saying that I can understand, but I can also understand that if the precedent has been like, listen, we open. You don't ever have to lie to me. You don't ever have to, no matter how embarrassed you might be or how embarrassed you think the situation might be. I'm here for you, and you tell me everything else, but then you leave this one detail out. I might feel like, damn, what we build didn't matter. But again, I'm still going to support my child. Yeah. But I'm saying that now is just now. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it could be that way, but
16 years from now, I might be like, I get it. Cool. Be great.
True. Well, if she don't want you there, you can't go.
Yes, she can ask me to leave the room if the doctor...
Well, they won't let you in the room.
What you mean?
Like, when I went to the gynecologist for the first time, like, they unless you want them there, they can make you leave.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
And I really don't think they're going to do it with a father in the room, honestly. So, I mean...
All right, well, you take it. The fuck?
Well, I think that is where we're going to end it, since he's, TJ wants to be so sweet to me at the last part of that quarrel. Folks, this has been yet another episode of Lovers Quarrel. You know that you can always find us on Instagram at Lovers Quarrel Show, on Twitter at Lovers Quarrel 7, or email us with all your feedback, questions, concerns at loversquarrelshow@gmail.com. Guys, this live show is going to be a real thing that we want you to come and celebrate with us and sit with us and laugh with us and chat with us and see all of the things we have planned for you guys. So make sure you go to LQLive.Eventbrite.com and get your tickets, because it is on November 17th from 3 to 5 at the Bowery Poetry Club. So be there or be square. And as always, I am your girl TJ. I said I am your girl TJ.
Yes.
My bad. I am your girl Dani.
And I'm your guy TJ.
And you know that we fuss.
We fight.
But we love. Bye. That was funny.
Yeah, it was. Your buckethead.
Shut up. All right. I'm about to go get your daughter.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.